Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. We're back with you with another review, the second one of this week. We're back in the UK and we're looking at Teeside, Durham Tees Airport in the near the town of Darlington in the UK. It's Echo Golf November Victor. This is a payware scenery by FlyX Simulations, and you're looking at version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. It's released through AnyBuilds. The download is 624 meg and it installs at 1.3 gigs. It's also available from SimMarket as well as the AnyBuild store. I'll give you the SimMarket price because it includes taxes. So €16.79, which equates to roughly $17.92 US or £14.47 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, and they do include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. So FlyX Simulations, a fairly new developer certainly to me, and this I think is one of their first forays into Flight Sim 2020. This is a small sort of airport way up in the northeast of England, which has had a little bit of notoriety for various things, but is now actually operating occasionally international flights to various holiday destinations in Europe, and is well equipped to do so. A very, very nice little airport. So let's have a look at the list of features. So, for the list of features, the most detailed replica of Teeside Airport terminal and surrounding buildings. Custom surrounding models and features are included. All materials created with PBR textures. Shading and occlusion, or texture baking, effects on all the buildings, and high resolution textures as well. The use of native, highly efficient GITF models. Not sure what that is. Perhaps somebody could whop in the comments and just explain what GITF models are. And custom orthophoto for the airport and surrounding areas. Now, as I said, it's a fairly simple airport, but as you can see from this high level shot, there's quite a lot. It sits very, very nicely in the terrain. So there's obviously been some custom modeling here, as well as the airport. They seem to have done a fair little bit. So as usual, let's start with some history of this airport. So Teeside International Airport, Echo Golf November Victor, previously known as Durham Tees Valley Airport, is an international airport owned by the Tees Valley Combined Authority and operated by the Tees Airport Foundation. The airport is located between Darlington and Stockton-on-Tees in northern England and lies about 10 miles or 16 kilometres southwest of the town of Middlesbrough. The airport serves the northeast, primarily Teeside, County Durham and North Yorkshire. Tees Valley Combined Authority owns 3/4 of the airport and Teeside Airport Foundation owns the remainder. The airport began life in January 1941 as Royal Air Force Station Middleton St George, or RAF Gooseport as known to the locals, although it was never officially held that name. It was the most northerly of all Bomber Command airfields, home to both the RAF and Royal Canadian Air Force squadrons during World War II, and exclusively RAF post-war. Bombing missions from the station included those to Berlin, Hanover, Kassel, Mannheim and Munich. Of the many military aircraft based at the aerodrome, it's best known as a home to the Avro Lancaster during the war and English Electric Lightning in the 1960s. In 1957, the runway underwent extension. The RAF station was closed in 1964 and the airfield sold to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. The former RAF station was then developed into a civil airport. The first civilian flight from the newly named Teeside Airport took place on the 18th of April 1964 with a Mercury Airlines service to Manchester. In November 1966, the International Passenger Terminal was opened by Princess Margareta of Sweden. In the early days, the airport developed a network of mainly scheduled routes with limited inclusive tour charter flights. The destinations were consistent, but the airlines were not, with British Midland, BKS Air Transport, Dan Air, Autair and Channel Airways all coming and going before the turn of the decade. November 1969 saw British Midland returning when they were awarded the licence to fly to London Heathrow, which they continued operating until March 2009. From here, BMI Baby asked for the airport to be renamed Durham Tees Valley Airport, as they were then the principal carrier operating there. In late 2006, BMI Baby surprised everyone by leaving the airport, but Fly Globespan then opened the 2 aircraft based here. 2018 onwards saw the airport rebranded back to Teeside International Airport, and multiple flights operated by Eastern Airways were announced. In 2020, TUI returned to the airport with services to Mallorca and Alicante. That same year, the terminal was refurbished. In April of 2021, the £6 passenger facility fee was scrapped, and duty-free shopping would also again be available, courtesy of the World Duty Free Company. In August 2022, the airport officially opened a new £2.5 million cargo handling facility, and the airport will actually be the first in the UK to scrap the 100ml limit on liquids in hand luggage, with the installation of new scanning equipment known as the C3 scanner. As many of you know who travel worldwide, there is a limit on liquids to be carried in the hand luggage. In the UK it's 100ml, which I think is 3.7 ounces, the rest of the world. And obviously now, since time has passed since the incident that required this, the IATA and ICAO organisations are now looking at changing the rules and relaxing them a little bit, certainly now because of the new technology available to us. And pretty soon many airports around the world should be looking at scrapping this requirement once they get the new technology installed. But Durham Teeside is the chosen airport for where it starts here in the UK. So there's some history for you, and let's now look at runways. So runways, as you can see, we've dropped the lighting down to sunset so you can see the lighting better. Teeside Airport operates a single runway 2305, measuring 7,516 feet or 2,291 metres, and is constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 120 feet or 37 metres and sits in the GMT UTC time zone. Now, the UK observes Daylight Saving Time, or DST, and so is currently 1 hour ahead of GMT until it reverts back in late October. Now, both ends of this runway feature high-intensity runway lighting, high-intensity airfield lighting system, the centerline lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side of each runway. And both ends also feature standard instrument landing system with NDB, and NDB approach option is also available at both ends. So let's have a quick closer look at the runway threshold here. So there we are, there's the threshold of runway 23, and you've got the airport over there to the right. And if you look there, you've also got plenty of parking space for aircraft to actually park up and be ready to line up for takeoff. Before we look at the other end, you may have noticed here various bits and pieces here. These are old runways that were here during the days of the RF and now decommissioned, essentially taxiways. So let's go have a look at runway 05. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 05, and you can see everything exactly the same. Full lighting system, PAPIs on the left, centerline lighting, and again both ends have the full approach lighting system, and all of this is exactly as per the charts. Charts that I've got here, Jefferson charts dated 7th of April 23, so everything is as it should be. Okay, so that's runways for you. There are no jetways at this airport, so let's go down and have a look at the main airside area that you guys flying will be interested in. Okay, so here we are back in the daytime. It's midday, we're right close to the threshold of runway 05. I thought I'd start here and just tour across to the main central area so you get an idea of just what's been modelled and how it's been done. It's really, really nice actually. So here we go then. So taxiway signage, the grass area, there's the fence line to the left. And first of all, we've got the fuel farm and various bits and pieces located here. Again, nicely modelled, and you can see all of the items are fully textured along with the vehicles there. And here's another view. I mean, it just really looks nice. Look, even the vehicles are check-stood. There's weathering and dirt on them. It's all very, very nice, and it sits nicely within this whole context here. And just nearby you've got this little area here where they've got various bits of equipment sitting there. It's just really, really nice. I just like the way this has been done. So we continue towards the central area. There you can see the taxiways. The signage looks good as well. It really does look very effective. And the texturing, the ground modelling looks very, very nice indeed. So here you've got more stand clutter. And now we're coming to the main apron. The apron textures look wonderful. There you've got stand signage, all of the stands along here. Various bits of clutter all correctly placed within the safe areas, which is another really good thing to note. There's my aircraft, a Phoenix A320, parked there on stand 4. And this all looks really quite nice. We just continue the tour, and you've got some beautifully modelled and weathered hangars here. FedEx building there. And this is just lovely. This is another example of a small airport where they've really not left anything, any details unfinished. It looks really nice. There's the fire station. And here we've got Jet Centre. More hangars. British private jets there. All with the same registration, but no problem. There's some wonderful ground markings. Here's a general aviation area. Again, the fence line is prominent and well done, and it's correct. One of the things that airport security fence lines need to be under IATA regulations is to have a crank neck, and the fence line must be exactly 2.9 meters high with a crank neck, which is what this has, that faces outwards from the airport so that you can't actually place a ladder on it. And when you get closer, it has razor wire on the outside as well, which it should do, and it's supposed to have a 3-meter clearway either side of the fence. And this fence line is as per the regulations. I've done many fence line inspections for customs when I was at Heathrow many years ago, and this is the sort of thing I'm looking for. So a quick look across the fence to land side at this end, and you can see various bits and pieces that have been modelled there. Very nice. So we continue around the fence line. You've got this area there to the left with the lighting, and now we come towards a runway approach. And again, you've got signage just as it should be, and don't make the mistake of turning onto the old runway there. And as you can see, all beautifully modelled and textured. Very nice indeed. A quick look on the other side of the runways. You've got this area here, which not sure if this used to be part of the military. But we'll take a quick look because it's been modelled. Again, the fence line goes all the way around the airport. In fact, here, look, the fence line stops here. So, I would assume that this used to be part of the airport airside. As you can see from this shot, the fence line goes all the way down here. So this part obviously used to be part of the airfield. Unless, in fact, you see the charts, the airport charts don't show this area very much, so it's hard to say whether this fence line is incorrectly placed or whether this is what it exists like in real life. Perhaps somebody who's been to Durham, Teeside or works there can maybe tell me if this is correct or not. But clearly this was part of the airport. There's the windsock, and it's now no longer because it's fenced out. And as you can see here, there's no crash gate or emergency access to the field from this point. So it'll be interesting to see if this is actually correct. So I've gone up here and just had a look at a high level shot here just to have a look, and we can see you've got the fire training ground here, various bits of clutter. Now the airport fire service, which are airside, there's no way they would get to this to do their sort of weekly fire training if this fence was in the way. So I've got a feeling this fence is misplaced, or if it's correct, there should be access gates here, emergency access or airfield access gates, because the fire service always, usually once a month, they go to the old fire training ground and set fire to this and do a test. They do it at Heathrow, they do it at Gatwick. Every Category 7 airport in the UK has a full fire service 24/7, and they do a fire training where they light up the old fire ground here, usually this aircraft, at least once a month. And therefore they would need access from airside. So that would determine that this fence is either incorrectly placed, or if it's correctly placed, there should be access gates here for the fire service and security to get through. So again, if somebody could maybe, if somebody's at the airport or works there or knows this airport pretty well, maybe they could tell me in the comments. But as you can see, a really nice, well-modelled airport. Lots of little bits of detail. Some very nicely modelled aircraft there too. So there's a control tower, or rather, yeah, it is a control tower. Doesn't look like it's modelled inside, but from the outside you can see this brickwork looks wonderful. So as you can see, the inside is not modelled. In fact, there's barely a bit of construction there. It's just a pity really. So it's just to be seen from the outside, no internal modelling in the tower. So there's the fire station, and you've got a single fire tender sitting outside there. And we take a slow tour towards the main terminal apron, and you can see the texturing and the modelling on this airport is really nice. So here we go, a slow tour just past the airside ramp, and you can see the modelling on the building is very nice indeed. It really does look the part. And you can see from this shot here, let's go down a little bit, you can see some internal modelling there. It's probably, I think this is the only building that they have modelled internally. But in terms of ambience and atmosphere, I mean, it's lovely, it's really nice. Seating area landside there. So let's go inside the building. And there we are, nice pleasant little scene, nicely modelled inside here. And there we go, you go up close to this sign here and you can see the flight departures board, and it's very crisp and clear, even this close. And a quick shot there looking outside. So here's the departure lounge looking here, very nicely done. And there's the Ryanair baggage check thing. Interesting thing is, it's all nice and crisp there, but if I move the camera, there it goes blurred. Don't know why that is. Let's back up a bit. Okay, it's just maybe a trick of the graphics, I'm not sure. And a check-in point there before you go to the aircraft. There's the name of the airport on the lectern there. So you've got this area here. Let's see what we have. Okay, got another lounge here. It's really, really nice here. Coming up to the other end. Very nice. And again, a nice view down there. You've even got little bits and pieces on the tables there. There's the flight board to the right. And just a quick tour down here and have a look at this mural on the right here. And that's very nice. Again, up close, and it's still very clear. Very, very impressive. And you've got another one there by the exit doors to the right. So just a quick look from outside the building. Everything looks cool. I haven't been able to find the security check yet. I don't know if it's included, but anyway, hopefully we'll get to that. So this is the arrival side. As you can see, excellent signage, lovely weathering on the building. Let's go inside and have a look at the baggage carousel. So here we are inside arrivals. There's the baggage carousel where the passengers would claim their baggage. And just another look, you've got two carousels there. So here we are at the very other end of the building. Let's pop inside again. And once again, you've got this lovely interior, nicely modelled with bits and pieces lying around. And yet another really nice mural. As we go through the doors and we're into the arrivals area. Okay, so let's go across the fence to landside. Here we are, landside of the main terminal. It's really nice, various seating points there. There's the car park to the left. Again, a nicely modelled car park, all properly delineated, cars correctly placed within their parking spots, unlike some that I've looked at recently. So a close-up look at the terminal landside here. Yeah, nothing much to write home about, but again, nicely done. Murals, modelling, the signage is really good too. And you've got this additional car park here, landside of the airport fence. And you have this nice little seating area here too. So a quick run this way, landside, to look at some of the buildings and some of what's going on landside of these various hangars. As you can see, so there's some very nice modelling here. Various buildings and additions interspersed with default stuff that looks good. And no cars out of place. I'm really pleased to see that. It's very nice indeed. Yeah, quality of modelling is excellent, placement of vehicles and everything is really nice, no complaints at all. And a quick close-up look at one of these jets. Not sure why we've got bombs there. I don't know, these look like civilian type jets, they certainly don't look like military ones. But again, I don't know Teeside Airport, I don't know fully what's located there still, or what these pertain to, but they clearly do have underwing attachments here. But anyway, the quality of the aircraft modelling here is excellent. Just wanted a close-up look to show you. So there we are, we had a good look around daytime. Now let's turn the light down to dusk and see what the lighting's like. Okay, 7:10 in the evening. It's late September or mid-September 2023, and as you can see, the lighting has come on here. Actually came on a few minutes ago, and from here it seems pretty subtle. As you can see in the distance, the sun has dipped below the horizon. Nice view looking out towards the runway there. There you can see the lighting. A lovely view of the moon there too. And looking in the other direction, there's the other part of the runway threshold. Here you've got green lead-off lights, and you've got blue airfield edge lights, as well as centerline lighting here to lead you out to the runway threshold. Looks really nice. So let's get close up to the ramp and have a look. So coming across the ramp here, as you can see, the lighting is nice, and it's being provided correctly by the big lamps up above there. You can also see partially into the terminal, which is a nice effect. It's really nice. It's not overdone. It's just as you would expect it. Little bit of lighting of this area, mainly from the sunset. And while we're here, you can see the green centerline lighting and some of the signage. And again, the quality is very, very nice indeed. Another beautiful little airport that does kind of come to life at night time or darkness hours. So just a couple of quick shots, quick close-ups here, airside, which is what you will see when you park up. In fact, let's go into the cockpit. So here we are in the Phoenix A320. British Airways has just parked up here at DUSK, and this is the view from inside the cockpit when you park on stand 4. Quick look out the captain's side, and looking across the first officer's window. And this is what I like about Flight Sim 2020 and these airports and the way they've been done. It just looks so realistic. You really get the feeling that you're there. Yeah, we're all virtual pilots, and we all have aspirations, and here we're getting pretty close. Very nice indeed. It's just a nice atmosphere. It just really does look nice. And a close up there looking through the windows into the terminal. The lighting is very, very nice and subtle. And just a quick view looking out towards the aircraft from inside the terminal. Really, really nice indeed. So just a quick pass over the apron landside and having a look here. Just look at the lighting generally and the way the buildings look. I mean, it's great. It's impressive. Very realistic. It's been well done for a nice little airport. It's not been overdone. Got a few Asobo globes floating around there, unfortunately, but no complaints really. As we come towards this part here, a little bit of lighting, again not much but enough to make it worthwhile, as it were. No control tower lighting to the right there. And let's pass over these hangars to airside. And here you can see the blue airfield edge lighting and the centerline lights that lead you to the runway. So not much lighting out here, but where there are lights over there to the left, they're on and they provide lighting as you would expect. So the lighting is excellent. Really no complaints about that at all. So just looking across the threshold there, you're on the other side of the area that we looked at earlier in the daytime. This is where the fire training ground is, and you can see there's no lighting at all there. So here's a closer look, and you can see there's not really no lighting at all here. But passing across the runway back towards the central area, it really does look quite nice. So there we are at dusk. Let's lower the lighting to night time now and see how it looks. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see the night is fast upon us. And here we got a lovely view of airside and landside. The ramp lighting has come up somewhat, and really does look nice. You can see the green taxiway lights, the blue airfield edge lights in the distance there. Runway lighting looks good. and this whole area is very, very nicely lit. Let's get down to the ramp. So as ever, the lighting is really, really nice. Very nice indeed. Go across the land side. Again, you've got this lighting area here, which looks quite good. Coming across the landside car park there, you can see one or two Asobo globes, which is a pity because the light stanchions here are providing the light that's needed, so there's no need for this really. However, there we are looking at landside of the terminal. It's very nice. And here you've got a caravan park. Now I hadn't noticed this before, but clearly this is there for a reason. You've got various vehicles, some of them a bit haphazard, but they're mostly caravans, so I would assume that's some sort of caravan park. Again, I'm not fully up with Teeside Airport, so perhaps somebody who works here or knows the airport well can tell me. But it all looks very nice. It's not been overdone. Parts of it are quite simplified. It's very nice indeed. Would have been nice to see the control tower modelled, but really no complaints at all really. The modelling is excellent, and they've obviously chosen to do what they think is enough for them, and that's fine. So that's a quick look at night time. Let's bring the dawn up. So this is 7:20, half an hour later, and you can see the sun's coming up and you get this lovely glow on the buildings at the airport. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so 11 AM, time to wrap up the review and give you my thoughts. It's nice. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. It's another nice little airport and another place that we can fly from in the UK that's been beautifully done. Is it worth the price? I think it's a little on the expensive side. Bear in mind we've just recently looked at Brest with all the details. Brest is another small airport with quite a lot of detail, rather much more than this one, and they're only charging about 14 or 15 euros, and this is over 16. So I think maybe this is a little on the expensive side. Not that expensive. I mean, you're looking at 14 quid. There are some sceneries out there that are getting close to £20, $23. So yeah, it's okay, price is okay, but it really depends on how much you want this airport. If you want this airport, I can happily say you've got a really lovely, nicely modelled airport. Attention to detail is good. From a pilot's point of view, everything you need is here. It's lovely. Teeside, it's obviously the best version available, and happy to recommend it. What do I like about it? I like the way the terminal's been designed. The internal development is nice. It's simple, but it is really nice. The murals are wonderful. The ramp looks good. Texturing on the ramp, PBR pretty much everywhere, and the hangars. There's quite a lot I don't know about this airport. As I said, you've got these aircraft here, and what look like loads of motorhomes or caravans here. And the fence line, I'm curious about the fence line on the other side, because the fire service, who are based here, need to get across to the fire training ground to do their monthly fire test, and they can't with that fence in the way. So that's the only anomaly or the only question mark I have. But it's a nice little scenery, probably just a little on the expensive side, but really no other complaints. It's very nice indeed. So there you go, folks. Teeside Durham International Airport in the UK, Echo Golf November Victor. Payware scenery by FlyX Simulations, released initially through AnyBuilds, but it's also available at the Sim Market store. Download is 624 meg and it stalls at 1.3 gigs. SIM market price, which include taxes by the way, €16.79, which equates to $17.92 US or £14.47 UK. As ever, those prices are converted from the euro and they include tax and VAT, which may vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. Slightly on the expensive side, but no other real complaints. As I said, the only question mark I have is that fence line on the other side of the airport that prevents access to the fire training ground. So that's a question mark that I have. It's a nice little airport. Happy to recommend it because it's good. You know, you've got full PBR texturing all over the place. The buildings are weathered. The place just looks real, and that's really what you want. Because we look for realism in this simulation, and with this we're getting close to it. So there you go folks, my name's Lee, thanks for joining me in the review. If you've been interested in this and not sure, I hope it's given you some clearance or some sort of clearance as to what you think as whether you want to buy it or not. It's a very nice little product, happy to recommend it. So that does it for this review. We're going to wrap it up now. I will see you in the next review. I'm hoping this week to get a review of the Tenerife North Airport, the new product by Just Flight, trying to get that out before the weekend so you can have a look at that too. So check my website out for details of what's coming next week, and yeah, hope to see you in the next review. Take care, bye for now.